Donald Trump has said that he would put you in charge of the public health agencies. What exactly does that look like?
Well, he's been very specific in what he said. He wants me to do three things. One, clean up the corruption of the agencies, particularly the conflicts of interest that have turned those agencies into captive agencies for the pharmaceutical industry and the food industry, the other industries that they're supposed to be regulating. Number two, to return those agencies to the gold standard science, the empirically based, evidence-based medicine that they were famous for when I was a kid. And number three, to make America healthy again, to end the chronic disease epidemic. And President Trump has told me that he wants to see measurable, concrete results within 2 years in terms of a measurable diminishment in chronic disease among America's kids.
Well, isn't that exciting? Joining me now to discuss the voter turnout for this election and how RFK Jr.'s contributions will impact the country is National Organizing Director for American Values, RFK Jr. Super PAC 2024, and host of the Sharpe Way Show podcast, Larry Sharpe. Thank you for coming on.
I am so happy to be here, Stacy, as always, and I love what he said. I think this is a critical piece, right? A lot of people did not think that Trump was going to win so decisively. A lot of people thought he was going to win. Some people didn't. But the decisiveness, I think, is the critical piece. And I'm going to be very biased because I am. It's all because of RFK Jr. I'm just saying that is the reason why it was decisive. I'm going to say it. And I'm going to say it for an important reason. I have data, though. I don't just have my warm, fuzzy feelings. I have actual data. RFK Jr. was polling somewhere between 5 and 19%, depending upon his high and low. Let's average it to 12%. Say half are going to vote for him, 6%. We're going to 5%. Just 5% of people voting is literally 7.5 million votes. 7.5 million votes, say 1.5 go away, just 6 million votes. Trump only won the popular vote by 4 million, which means the decisiveness was because of RFK Jr. Now, he might have won without him. It's possible. I'm not saying he wouldn't have won, but it would not have been so decisive. This decisive victory, popular vote, 312 electoral votes, the Senate, looks like the Congress too. That's because RFK Jr. people who were thinking, I'm not going to vote for Trump. They thought what many people thought. I don't know if I like Trump or not. Maybe I don't even like him, but I want RFK Jr. and I will vote for RFK Jr. through Trump. I heard that time after time after time. Or to give credit where credit is due, I'm going to vote for Elon through Trump. I'm going to vote for Tulsi Gabbard through Trump. I'm going to vote for somebody through Trump. Trump became the conduit for a lot of different things. And this is what I think Junior was talking about. Junior said it was kind of a coalition. And what wound up happening is, and you and I have talked about this before, the Republican Party has become the party of everybody not Democrat, right? It's become that kind of conglomeration. And the conduit, whether people like it or not, is Trump. Trump has been a figure that has transformed this right now, our current politics. And I think that's happened. Now, why I'm extra happy is with that domination, there's a mandate now. So that means that what Trump wants to get done in this arena, bringing RFK in, bringing Tulsi in, bringing Elon in, will now be done. And now that the Republicans control the Senate, now RFK can be confirmed in whatever role they want to, be. So I can't say I'm dissatisfied with the outcome.
So, Larry, I have to co-sign 100% with you. I looked at a lot of the state-by-state numbers, and for the states that didn't remove RFK Jr. from the ballot, he was pulling, in most states, it was around 0.5 percentage point. So if you add those states up that did take him off of the ballot, that's an invisible 0.5 percentage point on every single race, which could very well tally up to 500,000, 3 million, even as many as 7 million. But I also want to just say, for my part, I had the similar experience where people were expressing to me that they had kind of reconciled themselves to voting for President Trump as non-Republican voters. So these are people who would
Correct.
normally be voting for Biden or, Obama, but they feel like things have gotten so radical, so woke, and so off of the main issues that they were facing. So they were like, you know what, I resign myself, I'll vote for Trump because he's not a Democrat. But when they added in their person, and all of them had a person, maybe it was Tulsi, more likely it was Elon, more likely than not, it was RFK Jr. He was at the top of that kind of superhero list. Then they were like, okay, now I'm voting for Trump, but it's also because of it's a more confident vote, I would say. It basically was like,
Yes.
now I'm telling people, instead of saying I'm voting for Trump or I'm voting against Harris, they're saying I'm actually voting for Trump because he's partnering up to make America healthy again. And that's like my number one issue. It's people who have children who are impacted by the obesity epidemic and all of these,
Yes.
childhood diseases and things that European nations don't have the same level of sick kids that we do. They don't have the same level of obesity. People are noticing that. That's one of the benefits of traveling abroad. People come to America, take our ideas
Yep.
back to their country, and we go to their countries and say, that's weird. There aren't very many fat people here. What's going on?
Yes.
So I think you're right. I think you're so right. And I also think every coalition is going to want to claim. So I'll just go ahead and put it out there, Larry, for you and I, fresh back from New York. I'm Gen X, and apparently we Gen X came out big for President Trump. So we get to claim
100%.
a little bit of the coalition as well. Yeah.
I'm Gen X too. I'm right with you. I know I look a little older than you. You look like a youngin.
No,
I know I'm a
you
little,
don't.
I'm a little bit
No.
older,
You-
but it's
you look
fine.
good.
But still, my point is, I agree with you completely. And I'll go one step further. One of the reasons why people were surprised, and me too, like I was guilty too. I did not think he'd win by this much. I thought that women would come out and vote more for Harris than Trump in a much larger chunk, but they didn't. And one of those reasons is the Maha message. The Maha message, make America healthy again, can easily be moved towards a feminist world, meaning family. Most people who are caretakers of either the elderly or the young are women. The vast majority are women who are healthcare workers, whether they're professional or within their own family, taking care of someone older or someone younger or someone ill. It's usually the woman in the family who does that. And when they heard make America healthy again, they were like, oh, MAGA has by default, more of a masculine twitch to it. It does. Maha doesn't. Maha is neutral. Everyone who's listening to you right now, everyone who's watching you right now knows somebody or themselves who has a chronic illness. Everyone does. It's in every family. Doesn't matter what family, your uncle, your cousin, your grandma, your kid, something. And when that came out, you could put Maha with a heart and people would get it. And all of a sudden now they thought it was going to be a 30-point, 40-point gap with men and women. It was like a 10 or 15% gap. It was much smaller. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to take credit. It was Maha.
So first of all, one of my favorite new logos of this campaign cycle was the Maha with the heart in it. I have to say, I was drawn to that. And that is something that's a little more on the feminine side. All of us like T-shirts and logos and things that we can kind of, do a little messaging with and billboarding. But that Maha, it really works. Also, you're talking about caregiving. For those who are male and they're caregiving, they understand the difficulty because they're right in the thick of it themselves. And they also understand that they want help with it and that the government isn't exactly providing that, even though we have programming it's literally billions of dollars that are dedicated to helping families who have someone with a chronic illness. But the way it's actually executed is that it's unhelpful. So I'm so excited. And the other part I've noticed, and a few people pointed it out, Larry, we don't have rioting going on right now. And I think the reason that they don't have the mandate to riot is because the popular vote was won, right? You have the popular vote going with Trump. And with that comes a certain kind of finality to it. It's something that other Republican presidents couldn't do. And I go back to the coalition that you have outlined here, and I'll even take it a step further. I think there was a level of frustration that you and we talked about it here on the program. You talk about it on your program, but I don't even think we are able to fully articulate that level of frustration. As much as we discussed it, we can't actually calculate it other than to say, without that frustration, I don't know that he would have had the popular vote. It's just an amazing outcome.
Yes, I'm going to grab two parts of it. The first one is, I think I wanted a more decisive victory, even if Harris was going to win. I mean, I didn't want Harris to win, obviously, but I would have rather had if she was going to win decisively, if she was going to. Decisive win is better for America. So I'm happy that Trump won decisively, right? If he's going to win decisively. You're correct. I get it. It does make it less realistic. It makes there's less of a mandate for anger, right? There just is less of it. And it wasn't like the men voted against Harris. Women voted against Harris too. Like it was much more of a broad base. I love that idea. And the second piece I want to bring up here is, yes. And the second piece I want to bring up here is with the coalition, it brings more people together. So now is a better chance we can get something to move forward. That is my hope. I really like that idea of moving forward. And I'll give Trump credit here.
We're out of time here. We're out of time here.
Oh, sorry.
Larry.
Anyway, Trump was good at his when he did it. Sorry, yes. Trump was good when he took his speech.
So much.
Nicely done.
Thank you for coming on. It's good to talk to you, Larry Sharpe. We have a lot more to discuss in upcoming programs. We'll talk to you.